Alafia families, powers ultimate, Ikaro, faith that all is well, prayers up in faith that this video is finding you in good health, in good spiritual peace, in good spiritual states. Not going to be long today, just here to talk about the so-called manifesto, or the so-called goal or dream or reason behind the Academy. The African Traditional Religion Association in the Academy, also known as ATRA, is in full effect. I would like to start off by letting people know that the association and the Academy is two separate entities, and the Academy is a branch of the association. The association, the African Traditional Religion Association, has is acting as the grandparent and has a manifesto of its own, which we are here to talk about the Academy. But just to talk about the association quickly, the association's duty is to preserve these cultures for the next generation, as such as the Academy. The association's job is to not only build temples and ilays in other cities and states, but also orchestrate and eventually conduct successful festivals, ceremonies, and other celebratory days, correct, in these other cities and states. So, for instance, when we officially get Philadelphia open, when we officially get Detroit open, when we officially get Cleveland open, these three close cities and states will be able to collaborate with each other, and when one throw an event, the other one will be accessible to them to be able to help if it is possible, correct? So the association is working on a more global scale, but the Academy is, like I say, is a branch away from the association. So we're here to talk about the Academy. The Academy is the first school, the first online school. Now we do have private classes, going back to our mentor program, which we will speak about later. We have been doing in-person private classes for a while now, and we just kind of want to get a full curriculum started with the Academy online on a weekly to monthly system for individuals who are serious. Who are we, why we are here, and where we are going? The so-called manifesto or goal or dream for the Academy on a smaller scale is to preserve these cultures for the future generations to come. But by doing this, we must work on you. We must get you to be the best version of yourself, of course, but also get a understanding to you of what this atmosphere, with this environment, with this ecosystem of your spiritual awakening state in this culture or these traditions will look like. In so many words, we are searching for your spiritual footing, which we will speak about more, correct? So we must keep in mind that this is not a cult, this is nor a religion. Of course, the name has the African Traditional Religion inside of the title, but this is just based on the normal ATR, so our brothers and sisters know what time it is or who we are, correct? Now, once again, this is not a cult, so nothing is mandatory. There's no initiations. There's no ritual ceremonies to be a part of. There's no just weird stuff a lot of weird hoops that you have to hop through to be a part of us. This is an open door policy that we always have, just like our temples. We have open admission and we have limited seats for a specific reason. We start talking about roles. We are always looking for roles. Just like an association, we're looking for board members to sit on these associations and different presidents in different cities to step up to help us preserve these cultures. But we do have certain roles. Of course, there's always INFIs, a bit to be Babalaos, regular normal AOs, different, so-called hierarchies inside of these cultures. But these roles for individuals to help us with these events and help us with class, just different things that we offer. Remember that these cultures are community-based. So speaking to your elders, speaking to other practitioners, speaking to people who have been in it 5 years when you've only been in it 2 years is very, very responsible. And vice versa, if you have been in it 5 years, speaking to people who have been in it 2 years, these conversations is very, very responsible as you're growing in these cultures. A big thing, like I say, we're trying to get people to become beneficial practitioners, right? And this is why the seats are limited, so we can focus on individuals who are serious and kind of get to weed out the individuals who are just trying to kind of waste time. We have been doing this for a long time now, and we understand that there's levels to practitioners. You have individuals who want to be a part of the community. They want to eventually be able to help other individuals who are just coming in, or other individuals who need help. Then you also have solo practitioners, people who are so-called introverts, which not really a big part of our culture and traditions as Africans, but you have individuals who consider themselves introverts and they just want to be solo practitioners, which is totally fine. And we want to be able to gear and equip those individuals, correct? The high topic of what I mean is that we have individuals who come in, and sometimes we only see them 2 times a year, 3 times a year. Individuals try to come in and find out secrets and then weaponize these cultures and use these cultures to, inflict havoc or pain or suffering on other individuals once they learn a little bit. And they not only cause havoc in the universe for other brothers and sisters, but also on their life too. So we're trying to eliminate scams, eliminate accidental magic or accidental spiritual conflicts, correct? So the main things as far as this academy is preparing individuals before initiation, whether it's Isifa, receiving your first hand of Arumala, or Idifa, which is full initiation. We want to make sure individuals are prepared, because when we start diving in this is we understand that it's a lot of different threads, a lot of different layers, and it's a vast amount of information that you need to sit with and be patient with. This is highly preparing individuals, specifically the ones who have been sitting with us for the last year. You have put in your time as far as sitting with us, learning different things. So this academy is set up for an array of different individuals who is kind of all in the same seat, correct? So what do we cover in the academy? The first stages, take note that we have stages. So when individuals is ready to move on or prestige, we will unlock different stages for individuals. But the first stage, which is the root stage, we work on a lot of basic and prime information, beginner level information, correct? Well, of course, we study the Odus. There's 256 Odus, but we will most likely study the major 16 Medjis. And of course, we will talk about different ones as we go along. But the major Odu study in the first basic stage, we will cover the first 16 Medjis, so you will have an understanding of what we are speaking about when we speak about the Odus, and the specific information about divination. Because when we start talking about this divination or offerings, a lot of this stuff is new to individuals. So we want to take our time walking through the Odus. So we have an extensive Odu study, which we talk about the Odus maybe like every Tuesday. And then we follow up throughout the week about different courses that we have. And eventually we will even have testing for individuals who want to really test their information and kind of prestige out, correct? So we have a Orisa study as well. We will focus heavily on Oremila. We will focus heavily on Ifa and Esu. But we will also speak about the major 7 African powers, of course, and just the more quote-unquote popular Orisas, correct? Now, we will also teach you chants and prayers, which is a big pinnacle of these cultures. If you don't really understand the chants, the mystical energy is not really there during ceremonies, etc. And if you don't really understand the prayers, the connection kind of gets a little faulty. But understanding how the outlines of these chants and prayers and songs is laid out is a big part of these cultures. So we want to take time to teach you that as well. Right along with, like I say, chants, prayers, and songs, but also batiki, which is the sacred oral stories passed down, correct? Now, we also will have access or give access to private lives and videos. A lot of this information that we have locked So a lot of private lives that we have for individuals who is in our mentor program will be accessible as well here. These videos is, we're comparing them or base them on our videos that we put on YouTube or other social media sites to have more private conversations or answer more private questions based on individuals where they're at with initiation and what they're ready to learn or know. Now, if you have been dealing with us a day Okorama saying this Elaine Temple specifically, then you are probably part of our chat group, which we will have available during the root stage as well. Now, this chat group, we will try to kind of advance it. We'll probably shut down our normal chat group that we have and advance this chat group, which, of course, it comes with our normal EFI and daily motivation, but also Q&As and just some normal private chat based on those Q&As. Now, I'm bringing this up because as far as the next level, and of course, PDFs. We have released in that chat group, we have released certain PDFs, but it is certain PDFs that we did not release. Like I say, when it comes to this divination, offerings, altars, and shrines, prayers, and chants, and padiki, a lot of this information, divination as far as kola nuts and obi, a lot of this is new to you. So giving you all of this at once is not only could be detrimental, but it also could just confuse you more than ever. So the PDF downloads is a big benefit that people like that we have, because you can take it, you can download it on your device, and you can study with it. So as we go through different odus, as we go through different tools and items that we use, as we go through different sacred plants that we use, and as we go through different stories of history, we will give and release and unlock different PDFs to be able to download that you can study at home. Now, once again, this is set up on a curriculum base and a community base, and this is highly why we have limited spaces to be able to focus on the people who are serious. Correctly, this goes back to our Q&A topic. It's all about doing the work with this academy, with these classes. Participation and pace matters. If you are not participating, then we're not actually becoming a successful academy. One of the main goals of the academy is to create beneficial practitioners, is to create assets in our cultures who we know is going to preserve the cultures in the correct way, because you're taking this serious, and that's based on your participation. So the Q&A is very big, because if you have a question, you need to promote that question, because someone else, A, may have the same question, B, maybe have not thought that far ahead yet, and you can help someone advance as far as their knowledge, as far as their spiritual journey, and C, we all get to grow as a community having these conversations, whether we're refuting, we're debunking, we're debating, or we're educating and teaching and passing on wisdom to each other. Once again, it is a community base, so the participation is very important. Now, PACE is set up based on anyone and everyone and how they learn. We understand that everyone has their own learning cycle, and we want to try to respect that. So we kind of have it open and kind of have it basic information, and this is why the Q&A is very important once again, because we get to understand where your mental state is at, where your spiritual state is at, based on the questions that you promote to us, or based on the questions that you give to us, correct? So doing the work in participation in your pace is something to definitely keep in mind as you go through the academy, correct? Once again, the academy is very, very important because of the songs, the chants, the prayers, and the badikis. Notice or take note that back home, when we are in Yoruba land, when we're in Benin, Togo, Lagos, wherever we're at back home in the motherland, that they are having a community-based culture with this. So it's not religion. There's exactly not no church. They do have a specific, which we will speak about later in class, they do have a specific form of a quote-unquote church, or somewhere where they dwell and be able to teach and worship together. But the community comes together as far as, kind of like a fire pit type of energy, as far as being back home in America, correct? Where they just kind of like, bonfire together and tell these stories and educate each other on the culture, teach each other the languages, teach each other the songs, teach each other the chants. And this is how you create beneficial practitioners practitioners. So, we just want to speak about the benefits or the reason behind the academy teaching in a community-based structure or curriculum as far as the songs, chants, prayers, and stories, correct? Trying to get that back home traditional essence. Now, we focus heavily on dream incubation. We focus heavy on connections and building a relationship with the ancestors. Once again, we believe in building a correct atmosphere and ecosystem in your spiritual state. And that comes along with having a divine relationship with the ancestors or spirits, even orisas, that is around, that is helping you, guiding you, and leading you to your order, you correct? Leads you to your destiny. So with this part of the class, we do speak about Igbe. We do have a couple Igbe lessons that's involved, but highly we try to stick to your ancestral lineage, veneration, and dream incubation as far as trying to track down different signs and tales that's in your life as far as where these spirits are trying to guide you or where they're making themselves present at, correct? Now, once again, we said that we're going to study the Odu. We will have an Odu study. Ifa Odu will be highly spoken about. Ifa Arumala highly will be spoken about as well. We would teach heavily. Like I say, we would speak about Arumala and Asu more than any other Orisas, but we will have courses for 7 African powers, and we will speak about all of the most popular Orisas at least one time, or at least open up the conversation for them, correct? Now, once again, this is replacing our mentorship program, which certain individuals who was in our mentorship program was very serious. It was a couple things and kind of run off with it, trying to figure out how they can harm someone and kind of run off with it. We're not trying to empower scammers, and we're not trying to empower individuals who want to come inflict violence and ignorance on the world using these cultures. So we focus heavily on different things, or we implicate different things like admission. We implicate different things like roles at a certain period in time when people get up to certain levels. And this is why we have the stages. So the first stages is very basic, and then, the stages will go up, especially as you prestige, you will see that there's different levels. So, I just wanted to take a little bit of time to speak about this, for anyone who just didn't understand. Once again, this is Baba Kuwafikan. I have been working for a long time. Peace and love and shout outs to Oelo Fagmanbilla, Baba Owiz, Oisi, and anybody from the Yoruba land all the way here to America, who have we been dealing with, all of our godparents, all of our elders, all of our ancestors, our elders who have transitioned into becoming ancestors, who have allowed us and granted us this possibility to open up the academy, and who have allowed me to study for the past 11 years on these cultures and on this level of information, and to approve my notes and approve my documents and approve my studies and my readings in my literature, to be able to grant me the possibility to open up these academies to our communities and to our our lost cultures, correct? So I just want to go through, the basic reasons why we're opening up the academy, the manifesto, so-called. Once again, the who we are and why we are here. We are trying to preserve these cultures. At least the academy's goal is to preserve this information for at least another 100 years. If we can do that, if we can get 2 generations out of this system, then we will be successful. We have been studying for at least 11 years. My godfather, rest his soul, studied for 60 years. Baba Awis, studied for 40, 50 years, was born into the cultures. And our other godparents as well. So we have time invested in, we have money, we have energy invested into these cultures. So we just want to continue to preserve this with our children and godchildren and great godchildren. Like I say, if we can get 100 years based off of this academy, then we will be considered successful if we can preserve this information and knowledge for our great grandchildren. Ashe. So I hope this answers some questions. I hope this kind of guided people or open people's interest or intrigue levels up to be a part of the academies, to come into and be an active member. Once again, we're trying to create growth. We're creating beneficial practitioners. That's the way that we become successful. We don't want a high attrition rate. We don't want a high dropout rate. So we're trying to aim these curriculums or aim this study to a level to where it's able to grasp and you're able to even teach your children after 1 year of being in the academy, correct? So that's the main goals or aim for the academy. Once again, the African Traditional Association and Academy is a national. We are national at this moment. As far as North Coast, East Coast, and South Coast of America goes, we will eventually branch out West Coast over the next 4 years. But we have different cities and states that is working to get their temples started now in these regions. So we want to kind of, focus on individuals who are serious about it and just lend a hand to where we can, and then eventually grow as one to more regions, even internationally. So peace and love, families. Ashe Bakun. Hopefully we'll see you in class soon. Hopefully we can pick up where we left off as far as where the last classes ended. So, share Bakun families. Once again, if anyone is interested, you can look us up, African Traditional Religion Academy and Association on Patreon. You can find us at kwafikhan.com. And please email us if you want any details or information or serious about joining the academy or association at KHANIAN700@gmail.com. That's Kanian700@gmail.com. KHANIAN700@gmail.com. Ashe. And once again, you can always contact us and subscribe and become a member over at kwafikhan.com to where you can begin to speak to us on a more private level. Ashe. So once again, I'm hoping that this video and sending prayers and all faith that this video is finding you in good health and good spirits. And I hope that I answered some questions for some individuals who are seeking more information about the academy and what we stand for and what our aim and goal is. Ashe. Power is ultimate, families. And everybody stay healthy out there. May Oludumare, El Su, and the rest of the Odorisas clear the path and ways for us. Ashe.